Okay, so let's start moving inside our VR world and let's check the XR interactive toolkit. And then we can right click, you can see that we have the XR here, and then we are gonna use device base, right? Because there are more options here, but they are more like complex. So we are just gonna use this one that it's more basic and more easy to use. So device base, and then we are gonna create this XR origin. This XR origin, it's your character, it's your body, it's your rigging body, right? So for example, if I want to move the view of this, because inside this XR origin now there is check here, we have a camera inside this XR origin, and then we have our right and our left hand controller. So it's our character. You have like the head, the eyes, and the hands. So it's the whole character. So we can move the whole character around the space. So for example, I'm gonna move it a little bit more like here so we can like see our lamps. So now if we just hit play and put our headset on, now we can move in 360. Right now we are inside, and now we can see, and now we can use our controllers. Where is my other controller? Is here. We can see that we have these Ray-Cast hands and now our head, but we cannot move yet, right? We can, if we press any button, we cannot move. Now let's start interacting with objects and with our controller inside this virtual world. So for that, let's create like a new 3D object in our hierarchy. Let's create like a cube, preset the position of this cube, bring it like more close to XR origin or to my character because I cannot move. So I just gonna bring it a little bit more closer here. And then I'm gonna scale it down. Maybe I'm gonna put like 0.3, and then I'm just gonna have my cube there. I'm gonna make a material. I'm gonna go to my folder, material, box. Okay, now we have a box, this color here, yeah, here to box. So now for interacting with this box, can go here to our XR origin, and then we can check our controllers, right? So for example, let's go to our left hand controller. Now we have here this XR Ray Interactor. So that means that we are gonna interact with that Ray-Cast. It's the one that is gonna start interacting with objects inside this virtual world. We can change parameters of those XR Ray interactors. So for example, valid color, it means like if I can interact with something inside the virtual world, it's gonna become like a color white, but I don't want to be white. I want to be, I don't know, tell me that this is purple, right? If I can interact with that, now it's in gradient color actually. So now I have a gradient of purple if it's gonna interact, and if it's invalid, it's gonna be red. But I want to be, I don't know, like more blue, dark blue, and then I can change here this, and then I'm gonna just delete this because I want to be just like dark blue, not a gradient. So now this is gonna be the color for my left hand controller, right? We have this in our hands, right? So now we can go here to our box, and we need to tell the box that it's gonna interact with our controller. So it's an interactable object. We need to say that this is a grab interactable. We create like this component, this XR grab interactable, immediately it's gonna create like a rigid body for this object because now it's gonna works with physics. So just with that, just adding this, now we can interact with our object. If I hit play and then I go inside here and I have now my left hand controller blue, the color blue with my Ray-Cast, because I cannot interact nothing around here. But if I select the cube, now it's gonna change the color because now it's telling me, okay, I can interact with that thing. If I press my grab button, now I have the cube in my hand. So now I can interact with the cube, right? If I use the joystick, I can like bring it more close to me or just rotate the cube and check it, right? And also I can release the cube. So that's really cool. So now also that we can do, it's like we can just interact, make like more like a natural interaction with the object. So we can just like be inside the virtual world and like go to the floor and pick up the cube. So for that, we can go again to our XR origin, and then let's go to our right hand, and then let's erase this X-Ray Interactor. So let's erase this one, remove this component also. Yes. So first we need to remove this one actually, and then we remove this component, and then we can add a new component that is this direct interactor. So as it all is direct, it's just like a direct way of interaction, more natural, right? For this, now we need also to create a collider for our hand, for our controller. So I can just go here and put collider, and I need to hit is trigger. So now I can interact with the cube. So now I'm here again. Now I cannot see my right hand because I don't have the Ray-Cast. So for example, if I bring again the cube, and then with my right hand, I go to the cube and press also the grab button, now I can interact with this hand more naturally, because now I'm using my hand to moving around the cube and checking, and then I can just drop it. And if I will be more close to the floor, I don't know if I can grab it. Yeah, now I can grab it from the floor, right? So that's more like a natural interaction. So now let's create the hands for our controllers, because now we cannot see our hands. So let's create some fancy hands. So let's go to our hierarchy. Let's go to 3D object. Let's go to capsule, and then let's put hands. Actually, it's just one hand, so let's put hand. And then let's reset this thing, and let's scale down this a little bit, scale it a little bit more. This is too big. Okay, now we have a hand there, and then let's add a material. Let's go to our material folder, create and material, and then put hand, and then we can change the color. Let's see, I like this lavender color, and then just bring this to hand here in the hierarchy, or there as you wish. And then we have our hand. I'm gonna create a prefab of this hand. So I again grab the hand and bring it to my prefab folder and drop it there, and then I have my hand as a prefab. So now I can erase this hand from here, and then I have my hand. What I'm gonna do now, it's like I'm gonna go to our XR origin again, and then I'm gonna go to my left hand, for example, and then if I go to XR controller, if I go here to model, I can see that says model prefab. So I can attach a prefab here to the model. So he's gonna say like, hey, that's my hand. So now I can, like, for being more efficient, I can select the left hand and the right hand, like link my hand. I'm gonna grab my hand and just like drop it here in model prefab, and it's gonna be just link. And now I should have hands. If I go here and then I hit play, yes, now I'm again here. So here are my hands. They're a little bit weird, but they are my hands. Okay, so you can like create more like interesting hands. So for example, now if I grab here, I have my cube, and now if I hit the grab button of this one, now I have the cube here. But as you can see, now my hand is inside the cube, right? So maybe we don't want that. Why is that? It's because the pivot point, like the pivot point of the cube of this object, is in the complete center of the cube. So it's just like grabbing, my hand is grabbing from there. Now we are gonna check how to change the pivot point of like objects.